If recycling were an Olympic sport, India would win the gold medal. Did you know that India has one of the highest rates of plastics recycling and recovery in the entire world? India recovers and recycles over 70% of its plastic waste, whereas the West and other developed countries are able to manage just about 30-35%. And this high rate of collection is largely possible thanks to the millions of informal recyclers, the kabadiwalas, the bhandiwalas, and the raddiwalas that you see at every street corner across every city in India. They collect plastics, cardboard, paper, and they recycle them. But yet, in spite of such a ubiquitous, extensive, and intricate network of recyclers, the national scenery in India is dominated by filth and squalor, and the general perception is that Indians don't recycle their plastics. What's worse is that because recycling is relegated to the informal markets, the quality of plastic is really poor, and companies in the automotive FMCG sector shy away from using recycled plastic. At Banyan Nation, where I work, we realized that there's no silver bullet to the problem of plastic recycling. So we decided to innovate across the value chain. We started off by first building a simple mobile technology platform, kind of a data intelligence platform, to map out all the informal recyclers in the country. What we found out was simply astounding. For every square kilometer in India, there were 4 local recyclers, we call them the kabadiwalas, who not only collect your trash, but also pay you money in return for that. No developed country or city in the entire world has the luxury of such a brilliant collection system. Now, once we had the market understanding, the rest was fairly straightforward for us. We then started to interact with them, and today we developed several clusters across India where informal recyclers collect the plastic and have the ability to give us thousands of tons of such plastics. In parallel, we began solving for the quality and purity of materials as well. We developed a plastic cleaning technology that allows us to eliminate 90% of contaminants in plastics. As a result, today our plastic is certified by some of the top FMCG and automotive companies. So this is just the beginning. In the next 3 years, plastics discarded by us, collected by the local informal recyclers, will be recycled by Banyan Nation, given to the top companies, and over 1 billion bottles, the shampoo and lotion bottles, will be made from recycled plastic in the next 3 years. This is one of the largest demonstrations of circular economy in practice. You throw the plastic collected by the local informal recycler being made into a bottle again. And you can play a huge role in this revolution as well. So the next time you go to a store and pick up a shampoo bottle, see if that bottle is made from recycled plastic. Now, that's not just going to reward your local recycler for the all-important work, but it's also going to compel brands to use more and more recycled plastics. Finally, I'd like to leave you with this thought. See, the consequences of our actions, however small they may seem at this particular moment, will have far-reaching impacts. We have always evolved by being in harmony with nature. Our culture and our heritage carries a lot of ancient wisdom. Let's not destroy the only planet we have, the only home we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mani. That was really good. How do we at Star keep getting inspired to go out and keep inspiring? Our leadership in India is instrumental in pushing us to take big, bold, and often startling chances. TED Talks India is born from the vision and audacity to reinvent television itself. It's an honor to call on stage Sanjay Gupta, who's been steering our content ambitions in this part of the world and been instrumental in redefining entertainment for New India. Welcome on stage, Sanjay Gupta.
Good evening, friends. I'm delighted to be here with you this evening. And thank you, Mani. What an inspirational idea. Beautiful. Your passion and deep commitment to solve one of the biggest environmental problems of this world is worth applauding. So can we have one more round of applause for Mani? The fact that you made a business out of it will inspire this young country and young minds, and they will challenge many things around them. India today is dreaming big. Our aspirations are far greater than any block that may come our way. A lot of us can look at India as a country of challenges. However, challenges and adversities inspire innovation. With Tech Talks India Nai Baat, our attempt is to showcase and celebrate the game changers who think the same way. Today, we're excited to bring to you the stories of 26 visionaries whose ideas, commitment, and desire is to challenge the status quo and impact society meaningfully. Each of these 26 speakers are the change agents, in my mind, of a new and inspired India. One such speaker is Gitanjali Rao, a 13-year-old inventor with 6 innovations to her credit, who believes you are never too young to create technology to help society and people. Then there is Trisha Shetty, a social activist who's empowering women to act against sexual violence by providing education, legal, medical, as well as psychological support. All these big ideas with an intention to add value to society deserve to be seen and heard by as many people as possible. Through these TED Talks, we are also challenging the idea of entertainment in this country. At 9:30 p.m., when the whole family sits down to have dinner, they'll have the opportunity to see these inspirational stories in Hindi, English, Tamil, Telugu, and Bengali. And even if you're not at your home watching on TV, you can catch this on Hotstar. We believe that these substantive and powerful stories will inspire this young and aspiring nation. With this, it is my privilege to welcome back Shah Rukh Khan as our host. Shah Rukh, a dear friend, has been a well-wisher and a partner of Star for more than a decade. I remember he was our biggest ambassador for change when we refreshed Star Plus 10 years back with Rishta Wahi Soch Nahi. What stands out for me about Shah Rukh is his intellect, his childlike curiosity, and his bold stand on issues that matter for this society. Shah Rukh has a unique ability to connect with everyone, from a 2-year-old child to an 80-year-old woman. He's a youth icon, and his journey to superstardom is a story of passion, hard work, and utmost dedication. In my mind, he's a role model for an aspiring young India, and we believe we could not have found anyone better to host this show. I would now like to invite Shah Rukh to come on stage and to take this evening forward.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. And thank you, Sanjay, for your kind words. And thank you, all the people who are part of the production. Wonderful to see you all of. It's like the same stage, so I feel like wanting to start presenting the show again. आप सबका स्वागत है. गलत बोल रहा हूँ? Okay. Thank you very much. And TED Talks India Nai Baat is kind of like going back to school. The only difference being here that I have to sit on the front bench when I'm forced to sit on the front bench and look nice and attentive to everybody who's speaking and expounding and talking about such wonderful ideas. Because in school, I would find myself the backbench, sit down there quietly and hide myself from the teacher and quietly eat toast and chicken inside my desk. And the first thing that actually, when I'm talking about growing up, is we talk about dreams. And every time everyone says, dream big and believe big and think big. But more often than not, dreams were basically just a big part of our imagination, a figment of our imagination. Nobody actually really believed that these dreams may come or turn into reality. And what I noticed today, or more than actually a year and a half back, the first time when I met all the participants in TED Talks India, Nai Soch, the first thing I realized is there's a whole set of new people, innovators, scientists, thinkers, young Indians here and abroad, who are not only just dreaming as part of a big imaginative process, but they really believe that it can be turned into reality. Lots of them came from very underprivileged backgrounds or lack of entitlement. But what they were doing was not very selfish. It wasn't, just to innovate and invent and become famous or rich. The idea was to bring about changes in lives of people who were perhaps a little better off than them in some cases. And that to me was very unselfish, very motivative, and extremely wanting to become part of TED Talks India, Nai Soch then, and on to Nai Baat. And of course, Uday Shankar paid me a lot of money, that helped. That was nice. And Sanjay and Gaurav have been very, very kind. Get opportunities to talk to an intelligent man like Chris Anderson here and abroad. And of course, Juliet Blake, who's backstage, who keeps on correcting my English pronunciation. So I know how to say audacious. I used to say audacious. So she keeps telling it's audacious, audacious. So my English is also improving. And of course, I have my three Murti here, Aradhna, Kausar, and Sonia, and Sahil, who was directing. And all of them get angry if I don't take their names. So thank you very much. It's been really a wonderful journey. And so many other people who are involved with this. But to me, the main thing was that there is this young set of people, sometimes not so young, because I'm the youngest amongst all of them, as you know, I never grow old. But there were some younger people on and off on the show, like just mentioned by Sanjay, 13-year-old Gitanjali, At 13 years, she's figured out a way to figure out how much lead there is in the water that we drink at home through some app on a telephone. And at 13, I just used to sharpen pencils to take the lead out. That's the only thing I remember. There have been some really wonderful speakers. I can go on and on. There's one lady called Kavita Devi. I'm saying all the names right. I'm looking at my team, Kavita Devi, who started this process, herself illiterate, married at the age of 12 from a small little village. And she figured out her life and started a newspaper called Khabar Lahariya, a whole movement where, she was able to entice other women who were uneducated, who were underprivileged, from backward classes and even scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, got them to start becoming part of this innovative process to take news, which is such a big thing nowadays and doesn't sound like news at all, but to take news and take it to the inner parts of the country and change the lives of these women and, bring changes around in the villages and the towns that she's working in. And there's this young man called Ankit who left his corporate job at 22 and decided, it's a simple logic, where हमारे यहाँ पे बहुत सारी शादियाँ होती हैं, खाना बेकार हो जाता है, वेस्ट हो जाता है, घर में हम वेस्ट करते हैं, हम लोग इतना सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, ज़्यादा पकवान बन जाते हैं अमीरों के घर में. अगर यही सारा खाना जो ख़राब हो रहा है उसको लेकर हम उनको पहुंचा दें जिनको खाना नहीं मिलता है. Such a simple thought. And before he knew it, what surprised him most was that he has about 8 or 10,000 workers who are called hunger heroes and who joined in as volunteers. So amazingly innovative thoughts and beautiful ideas. And I start feeling always that, being an actor, I want to first thank Star for giving me this opportunity, genuinely. I've even started designing my shirts with a star on them. And I was so touched by the fact that being an actor, it's important for me to, sit, hear, listen, feel, understand where the younger India is going, what's happening to the coming India. And I don't want to be sounding patronizing by saying, क्या हमारा देश अच्छे हाथों में है? Of course अच्छे हाथों में है. It's just that perhaps people at my age, and a lot of you, may not be able to comprehend what young India feels, what they want to say, what they want to do. And it's really, really wonderful, to get this opportunity. So I want to thank Star for giving me this opportunity. Also for converting this into 5 languages. I sound extremely sexy in Bengali. Amitma ke balo pashi, baby. Yeah, just really, really cool. I sound really nice. Yeah. Even the Kolangara temple is very like a baby. Every time I have to say baby when I speak in a different language. So the ladies understand. But I really want to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all of you for being here. And I think it's a family show we keep talking about in this times and times of OTTs where everybody is OTTing on stuff on OTT. I think it's very, very, it's extremely important that we watch things as a community, at least at home. And I think this will make parents like me aware of what the younger new India is heading towards. And the younger ones, I think it will motivate them to understand that whenever they want to earn well, to become richer, which I'm a big promoter of, they need to do well, they need to earn money. But somewhere, if each business can touch and change the lives of people, and if they can intend to use that for a purpose and make lots of money and become very famous and become whatever they wish to, but somewhere touch and change lives of people through the work they do, like most of the speakers and presenters who've come on TED Talks India Nahi Baat have done, I think it'll be a big motivational thing to them. So it makes me extremely proud to have shared the stage with some of the real heroes of our new India. So thank you, Star. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Juliet. And yes, speaking of Juliet, I will use my best English to invite her on stage now, because she's a huge, big part of making sure that TED Talks India Nahi Baat came to India, came on television. It was innovative, new. And the reason that it would work and people would like it, inshallah, is because the speakers are handpicked, chosen, worked upon by Juliet, who really looks the whole year round, does nothing else but finds these people to bring them on stage on Star and present it to everyone here in this country in all the languages that's being presented. So thank you, Juliet. Please do come on stage and give us a perspective and all the other content that this year will hold. A big round of applause for audacious Juliet Blake.
Proud to be here. I've spent so much time in Mumbai on this series. It gives me honest great joy to be at this moment in time. I feel quite emotional actually, because these shows have been a labor of love for so many people. And on this journey, I have met the most incredible people. And I'm not just talking about the speakers, I'm talking about the production team, I'm talking about Star, I'm talking about all the people that you will see on the program and the people behind the scenes. It takes a long time to put these programs together, and that was very generous of Shah Rukh to say that I was the one choosing the speakers. I can assure you that was not the case. There's a wonderful group of people here at the front, and they are the Fremantle team. And I'm going to talk about them again in a minute, because they are the best production team I have ever worked with in the world. And I've worked with many, many people, and they brought TED to life in India. Of course, Star have played the most important role by giving us the platform, but it has been the most wonderful experience. Some of our speakers from the first series have gone on to do remarkable things. The Star platform has done extraordinary things. So we had one speaker, Anirudh Sharma, who many of you, I hope, will have seen. Anirudh has taken pollution and turned it into ink. Last week, he calls me all the time, doesn't matter what time of the day or night it is. All of the speakers, many of them have stayed at my house. They all come to visit me wherever I live. But last year, he won the top Global Challenge Award at the United Nations out of 1,600 entries. And he called me to thank TED, because he believes that it was by being on the TED platform in India that got him the recognition. So there is this amazing young piano player, Lydian Nadhaswaram. Lydian did our pilot, he did the first series, he did the second series. In between all of that, he stayed at my house 2 times. He and his father came from India to do a TV show in America. They came and stayed with me. They couldn't leave because it snowed. He saw snow for the first time. This little boy is a genius. He's a child prodigy, and he won the biggest music competition in the world and was named the world's best musician. You will see him again on our series with A.R. Rahman, who introduces him, and A.R. Rahman's orchestra. So as I said, there is a large ecosystem working across the world to make these shows a big success. And I believe this next season is even stronger than the first season. So I want to pay tribute to this amazing team of people. Some of you are here, some of you are behind the scenes. On behalf of Chris Anderson and myself and the whole TED team in India, I want to pay tribute to Aradhna Bola, to Sonia Chowdhury, to Iraita Kosa Munir. I've been trying so hard to pronounce that properly. And to my two go-to, never let me down people, Vritti Patel and Mahavir Mallara. Where is he? He's here somewhere. He's at the back. I've never honestly worked with a better production team, and I've never had more fun. And the team at Star, headed by the visionary Gaurav Banerjee and his great team, Meenakshi Achan, Shaikot Das, Manisha Magdal, who's sitting down here, Ejaz Nakuda, and so many more of you behind the scenes. Thank you all. The small screen is really where the big audience is today. The giant rural population, the growing middle class. We want to reach every single one of those people with ideas that we can share across the whole of India. Our speakers are the visionary change makers, not just of tomorrow, but of right now. They've all worked so hard to bring their inspired ideas and innovations to our audience. My biggest hope is that families will watch these shows together, that the ideas you will hear will spark conversation and ideas heard from TED on all of Star's platforms will resonate across the whole of India. And finally, the man himself. Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, there are no words to express our gratitude to you, Shah Rukh. It's an extraordinary thing. He recorded 2 shows a day. The first one in Hindi, did a quick turnaround, and then recorded the same show in English. And all of the speakers, bar one, who couldn't speak English, they recorded their show in Hindi first, took a dinner break, and then they recorded their shows in English, which for me was great, because finally I could understand it. It was marvelous. Shah Rukh, your brain is like a tungsten light. It glows with energy. And when you hear an idea that sparks your interest and imagination, I could see it on your face, and you'll see it on the program. He does this thing. He turns his head like this, and he's thinking, I never thought of it that way. Your passion, your curiosity, and your lust for knowledge, we can see it in these shows. And honestly, you gave every speaker the confidence to shine, and we can never thank you enough for that. So, shall we take a look at the show? Yes? Okay, please let's roll tape, and thank you all for coming. Thank you.